SMT Nation, we back. Nation, this really good article from RCR Wireless. I'll link it for you. It'll be in the description. It's called 6 Takeaways from Verizon's Q1 Results. You guys already watched my video. You know exactly what time it is when it comes to Verizon and where I stand. But let's take a look at this article from Kelly Hill. Let's see what she's writing about, and let's see if there's maybe commonalities, maybe differences. I don't know. Well, you never know. Two people see things very differently, so let's peep things out. Article will be linked in the description. Also in the description is the Real SMT Buy Me a Coffee link. If you want to support your creators directly, that's one way you could do it. And don't forget, if you're looking for a great deal on wireless, you can get it from our wireless partner, mmWave. The partner link in the description will unlock savings. They've just increased all the data plans, but not pricing. They just increased the data. They kept the pricing the same. So check them out. You're going to get a great value, fair pricing, excellent customer care. Overall, just a great partner for us here, the SMT Nation, and I'm proud to stand with them as a wireless partner here on the channel. All right, so the results from Q1 from Verizon, in my estimation, was mixed. There were a couple things that were extremely concerning. They're not newly concerns to me. They've been a problem. It's not anything new, but there were a couple of very strong things we could say that Verizon is doing very well. All right, so let's see if those same things come into play into this article. So the first thing mentioned as a key takeaway from the Verizon Q1 2023 in the article, it states wireless customer numbers saw impacts from the 3G shutdown. Yeah, that's a problem. They definitely lost revenue. According to these numbers, the losses were at the 1.1 million retail connection mark. That is a lot of customers to lose. Retail postpaid phone net additions were 633,000, but postpaid phones returned a net loss of 127,000. Right? So, and then they lost 351,000 due to the SafeLink abandonment or discontinuation. I think they've since shored things up with that, and that'll be back up on the market and whatever, but it definitely was impactful. Okay, so there are losses in wireless at Verizon. Total wireless service revenue came in at just a smidge under $19 billion, 3% increase year over year, which means that there is some growth, but that growth is at a slower pace than it has been previously at Verizon over the course of the last several quarters. Now, obviously, that is impacted by the 3G shutdown, so that's kind of tied up in there. So I'm not sure if I hold that up against Verizon too much. I know that the business wireless side also saw a slight decrease. That can be a little bit concerning as well. Who knows? Maybe that had something to do with phone sales and wireless equipment revenues. So not the end of the world. I don't think that's overly concerning. Profitability-wise, net income came at $5 billion, increased 6.5% year over year. Now, obviously, 1 year ago, Q1 was probably the worst quarter that Verizon's had as far back as I can remember. Last year's Q2 was pretty bad as well. So it looks like those two quarters are way behind us in the rearview mirror. Things, obviously, I don't think they can get any worse than that. So it really is up from here. Now, where Verizon really shined was the broadband consumer growth, right? They got the 5G home internet cooking with gas. They went over 400,000 in broadband net additions, 437,000 to be exact. 67,000 were Fios, 62,000 were residential on those Fios ads, 5,000 I think were the business side. And then the really big story here is fixed wireless access, right? Taking the cake, 390 some odd thousand connections or something like that. I think they did a pretty nice job of, blending it both with the residential, the consumer, and also the business side, right? 137,000 of those fixed wireless access customers coming from business, 256,000 coming from residential and the consumer segment. So those are some of the strengths. And continuing with the strengths, the C-band is the focus. Much of the spend for the network upgrade is mostly done, right? If you look at the large amount of money that they spent to get the spectrum in and around the $40 billion mark, and then early clearing kind of baked into that from satellite operators, and then don't forget they've got to actually upgrade tower sites, which they dedicated $10 billion in the actual installation of antennas and hardware, and obviously they've had to upgrade a lot of basebands and other types of gear that are at the local tower sites. And then, of course, fiber circuit increases, right? When you look at OpEx and them running their own fiber, they've been spending money. So I think that also is a strength, and you can see that there might be some tailwinds moving forward. They can start to monetize all of that spending. Now, this is where I have concerns. Verizon is targeting cost cutting with assistance from AI. So the new incoming CFO, Tony Skiatis, who is replacing the outgoing Matt Ellis, I think is his name. They're looking to reduce costs by $2 to $3 billion by 2025. Verizon has done a nice job with the One Fiber program to also bring those synergies into play. So here they are trying to do it on this angle. And they're looking across many areas to save. All right. And that basically means, in my opinion, reducing headcount. They're going to be laying people off. They're going to be looking for AI models for solutions, whether it's diagnosing networking issues or running simulations or building models, so they can become more efficient. To me, folks, this just tells me that us anticipating customer care getting better is probably not going to happen. I don't think so. If they're looking for AI for solutions, if they're looking for automation, and if they're looking for machine learning and all this other stuff, that is probably not going to bring solutions for customers, at least not on the customer care side. In my estimation, they're not even looking at customer care. So unless there's a big U-turn coming, and we get some specific directive from CEO Hans Vestberg or CEO of the consumer group, Sampath, I don't think it's going to happen. This is why I said the quarter was a mixed quarter, folks. Out of the 6 things, you've got like 3 concerns and you've got about 3 strengths. The concerns have been concerns, though, and that's my concern. Sorry, I didn't mean to sound redundant with the way I said it, but I don't think those things are getting addressed right now as we speak. Running promotions, being more competitive in traditional postpaid, that's not happening. They don't want to, they're not searching for, non-profitable customers and whatever, however they phrase it. They're just going to let AT&T and Verizon or AT&T and T-Mobile do their thing and Big Cable do their thing. They're going to continue with that. I don't know. What do you guys think? Am I off on this? Do you expect Verizon to kind of change those weaknesses or what those perceived weaknesses? Do you think they can keep the strengths going? Love to hear what you have to say on this. You are the voice of the people, the SMT Nation. Let your voice be heard.